From the heart of Bulldog Country, this is Sports Central on Bulldog Sports TV, brought to you by Harrison County Community Hospital. We're your weekly home for in-depth coverage, highlights, and insider insight on everything South Harrison Bulldogs. Whether it's game-winning moments or what's coming up next, Sports Central is your front row seat to it all. It's time to break it down, fire it up, and celebrate Bulldog pride like never before. Let's join your host, CF Rainey and Andrew Sweat.
All right, actually just CF Rainey tonight. Andrew Sweat had something come up with work. He was traveling, not able to make it. And so welcome into Sports Central as we get ready to discuss all things South Harrison athletics, especially here as we're towards the end now of our fall season with football, softball, volleyball, and girls golf. And we'll talk about all of those and have some graphics to show you for all of those teams as we discuss what's going on there with all of those teams. A big thank you again to Harrison County Community Hospital, who is our sponsor for our Sports Central content. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this screen as we start to talk about what's going on in South Harrison. We'll start with the cheer program. And so we actually had a chance a couple weeks ago to speak to my daughter Lucy, Rainey, and Julie Flores, who they are co-captains for the cheer team. And so they were able to place fourth in the Kansas City Regional of the Missouri Cheerleading Coaches Association. That moves them on to state, where they'll be competing, I think, November the 1st down in Columbia. So big congratulations to the cheer team. We mentioned them before, but wanted to go ahead and get that graphic up. And then talking about volleyball. And so we were able to stream the beginning of this week's senior night for the volleyball team, and the two seniors, J.C. Schruff and Eris Hansen, who are right in the center of that picture, got a victory on senior night over North Nottoway. And it was a great night of volleyball if you're able to attend or watch with us on Bulldog Sports TV, as South Harrison won the first one 25-15, then dropped the second game 21-25, and then won the next two 25-17, 25-18 to go up and win that match 3-1. And so volleyball has another week or so, and then they'll be going into district play. And so make sure to keep up with all of those games, and we'll be updating those as we go throughout the rest of the season and into districts. And now we want to talk about girls golf for a minute. And so girls golf, and this was the amazing thing about girls golf for South Harrison. They just won their fourth consecutive Grand River Conference championship. And so that is a huge, huge feat. And actually, Coach Kel Watson will be joining me next week. We'll be interviewing Coach Watson about the girls golf team. Tomorrow, they will be at district play down in Cameron. And so with the opportunity to qualify for state with the team as well as individuals, depending on how that goes. And so 4 consecutive Grand River Conference championships for the girls golf team, which is huge. And then look at that on the graphic right below. Abby Owens, senior, 4-time individual GRC champ, which, again, big kudos to Abby, as it's hard to be an individual champion, let alone 4 times in a row, all 4 years of her competition in high school. Junior Ainsley Clint placed second, and we have those scores there in parentheses. So Abby Owens shot a 76. Ainsley shot an 81 to place second. Junior Amber Criley shot a 94 to get 6th place. Then the other two members, Berkeley Glenn at 107, Addie Polly at 147. But you'll notice the little asterisks there beside Abby, Ainsley, and Amber. And that means those girls all got all conference in the GRC for golf. So great job by the girls golf team. And we talked about cheer qualifying for state, as well as volleyball getting a win early this week. And so you see South Harrison teams doing well down the stretch. And so we'll move from the girls golf team that placed first onto softball here. And here are your not quite final GRC softball standings, as I believe it is Polo, or no, excuse me, Brookfield and Milan still yet to play as far as when we got these updated to get the full slate of 8 games. But South Harrison, they were already the GRC champs after Gallatin had dropped their second loss, but they went ahead and finished it out 8-0 on the season, 20-10 overall. And we will have an interview with Coach Aaron Fitzpatrick that will be on tomorrow on Bulldog Sports TV. He'll talk about the last 7 games they've played since the last time he and I spoke. We'll also look at districts, and we'll look at that graphic here in just a minute as well. So South Harrison ladies golf, GRC champs, South Harrison softball, GRC champs, and you see it there. They finish 8-0 ahead of Marceline Gallatin, both with 2 losses, and then Trenton and Maysville in the middle, and then Putnam County, Brookfield, Polo, and Milan finish it up. And so when we're talking about softball, and again, I mentioned we'll have an interview with Coach Aaron Fitzpatrick that will air tomorrow, but I want to get to this graphic. And so this is the district softball tournament. So seeding is already in, and it lets you know when those games will take place. So South Harrison, the 1 seed in their district tournament, and so they will get the first round bye. They'll await the winner of Hamilton and Brookfield, 2 teams that they have played. In fact, they just beat Penny on Monday night, got a big win there versus Hamilton. And so both teams, Penny and Brookfield, they've already got victories over for the season. And so that game will be on October 16th. And then if they can move ahead from that one, they would play in the district championship on October 20th, awaiting the winner from Trenton, Marceline, or Milan. And so the great thing for South Harrison softball and is the fact that they've played each of these teams in their district. They've got victories over them all, and so there's a history there. And so volleyball, softball, football will all be heading towards districts. Golf is playing districts tomorrow on Thursday. And so let's get over to the GRC standings in football. And so last week, South Harrison gets the big win over Maysville. Andrew Sweat and I were there live down in Maysville, and it was all South Harrison. And they started, they got the ball, they were able to score. They got a number of stops. In fact, Maysville, as we're looking at this, as South Harrison sits there in second, Maysville did not have a positive yardage play in the first half. And so not only South Harrison were they moving offensively, but defensively they were smothering the Wolverines from Maysville, and only ended up giving up 1 score in that game. And it was just a great performance overall, talking about South Harrison football, with Cray Coffey running the ball, Mason Galloway running the ball, Jet Cornett at quarterback, had a nice long pass to Kel Taggart out at wide receiver. Great blocking by that offensive line. And so just an overall great game by South Harrison. But you see here in the standings of the GRC, so Putnam County's still ahead at 6-0. They do have the head-to-head victory over South Harrison. But South Harrison sits there in second place, tied with Brookfield, and that's who South Harrison will be hosting on Friday night. And again, that'll be here on Bulldog Sports TV. Home game, so if you're able to make it, it'll also be senior night. A lot of seniors on the football team, as well as some of the other groups that are represented that will be recognized there on Friday night. But the thing we want to remember here is South Harrison and Brookfield, both 4-1. And so if Putnam County would somehow trip up going into these last couple of weeks of the season, you want to make sure that you don't drop a game. And so South Harrison, Brookfield, both 4-1, both 5-1 overall. It'll be a huge game. And we already interviewed Coach Chris Schoening. That'll air on Friday on Facebook and YouTube on Bulldog Sports TV. And so we talked about not only the great victory over Maysville, but looking ahead to this Brookfield game, and the one thing that'll be interesting as South Harrison gets ready to host Brookfield Friday night is the fact that we saw Brookfield in the Jamboree over in Putnam County, and they looked good, but their quarterback was injured last week, and so South Harrison doesn't know if he will play or not. And the quarterback that did play last week versus Gallatin, they did get a close win over Gallatin, did Brookfield. He's more of a runner. The guy who starts, they maybe will throw it more. And so that'll be an interesting chess match to see if he plays and what that Brookfield offense looks like. But if you're South Harrison, you just simply want to come out and do what you do, which is establish the run with Cray Coffey, with Mason Galloway behind that really experienced and strong offensive line, and just set that up from the get-go. And so South Harrison still an opportunity for a chance at a portion of the conference championship, depending on what happens with Putnam County. But the Bulldogs want to keep winning out. And so let's also look here. Let's get the graphic up of the district standings. And so South Harrison sits right now second in the district. And so the number I want you to look at, if you'll look at your screen, go all the way to the far right of the columns. So you have points for, points against, points per game, opponents' points per game, the win-loss record, which is important. That win-loss record is important, and Mid-Buchanan is 6-0. And so this is why South Harrison, not only for the opportunity to stay alive in conference, but for district seeding, this is really important, because you'll notice that there are 7 teams in this district. And so team number 1 will get a bye. The second team then would get that 2 spot and have a favorable draw, at least in that first game, with the opportunity, obviously, also to host that game at home. So right now, Friday night is South Harrison's last scheduled home game. But if they can stay in one of those top 3 spots, they'll have opportunity to host a district game, that first district game. And so South Harrison, you look and you say, okay, so they're 5-1. Everyone else is much worse. You have Lawson Lathrop there, win-loss record at 4-2. So you may be looking and say, how in the world is Cameron at 2-4 in that third spot? And honestly, if you look at those points at the far right, that's the column that really makes the difference. South Harrison just decimal points ahead of Cameron, and that's because Cameron is in a conference where they play a lot larger schools. So even though they're in a Class 2 district, they're District 8, with Mid-Buchanan, South Harrison, East Buchanan, Lawson, Lathrop, and Trenton, they're playing those larger schools. And so the way the state divvies up those points makes a difference. So even if they lose, if they're losing to a 3A or a 4A school, they get points for that. And so South Harrison needs to keep winning, needs to keep getting those points per game up and moving along so they can try to capture that 2 seed going into postseason play. And so those are the things that are important here as we head towards postseason. We mentioned and showed you the district softball. District golf is tomorrow. District softball will start next week and continue on. And then district football, still a couple more weeks of the season. South Harrison, we mentioned hosting Brookfield this week, and then still have games on the road against Polo and Gallatin. And so let's go back real quick here. And so South Harrison, again, Brookfield this week, so right under them. Then Gallatin, so 2 difficult games, and then Polo, which is also middle of the conference, then finish up regular season with Gallatin. And so still a lot of things ahead for South Harrison as they will look to continue to moving along after that week 2 loss to Putnam County. And so want to remind you again, tomorrow we will have our interview with Coach Aaron Fitzpatrick and softball. That will air tomorrow. Friday morning, we'll get our interview with Coach Chris Schoening. Next week, we're going to have interviews with both those guys, as well as Coach Kel Watson of the girls golf team, who just, again, won their 4th consecutive Grand River Conference championship in golf. And hopefully we'll get some knowledge on who is able to go on to state for South Harrison. I know Abby Owens is qualified each year, and so I'm sure they're hoping she can do that as well and maybe get the team or a couple more team members able to qualify for state in golf as well. So make sure to check out all of our content. Want to mention, again, big thank you to Harrison County Community Hospital, who sponsors our Sports Central content, as well as the rest of our sponsors, O'Neill's Home Furnishings and Floor Coverings, Little Clara's Garden, Green Hills Insurance, Petty John Auto Center, Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri, Bethany Rotary Club, Bethany Building Center, United Country Nelson Real Estate and Auction Company, El Nopal Authentic Mexican Food, BTC Bank, Hidden Acres Cabins, Shelter Insurance, Shane Jones of Bethany, Bethany Fuel Depot, and The Body Shop. And so that is kind of our abbreviated, without Andrew Sweat here, weren't able to get in some discussion about some of the sports going on, but we're able to highlight all of those things. We so appreciate everyone that is watching. I actually was looking at our numbers, and we're over 130,000 views on Facebook since we started. Our followers continue to go up, and so we just appreciate everyone's support with our family sponsorships as well. And so the next time we'll be on the air live will be Friday night from Memorial Stadium as South Harrison hosts Brookfield. Andrew Sweat will be joining me for that, and we're excited to continue hosting some of the post-game things as well. And next week we'll talk maybe a little more in depth on that because Misha has some new things going on as far as how you host post-game with the ability to do some video through Misha TV, which is pay for content, but we would still, Bulldog Sports TV, be able to bring that to you because they limit what you can do in postseason as far as whether it's audio only. If you want to do video, it has to be through Misha TV, which is the Missouri State High School Activities Association. They do charge for that, but we could still be able to show that to you. And so we've been working to make sure that we are qualified and set up with their system to be able to do all those things. We appreciate everyone watching. Make sure to share our content, follow us on Facebook, as well as subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And we will see you on Friday night. Make sure to check out any of our coaching interviews. You can always go back and watch any of our previous content on Facebook. YouTube keeps it a little longer, so you can watch all those games and everything as well. Thanks again for supporting Bulldog Sports TV here on Sports Central, sponsored by Harrison County Community Hospital. This is CF Rainey